Your business as you know it is doomed if you don't heed the specific warnings with the new trade war that has happened. Right now in the United States of America, 25% tariffs have been issued against Canada, and tariffs have been issued against China, and are being threatened against the BRICS countries. This can drastically destroy and ruin tons of businesses, but it's not all doom and gloom, because if you focus on looking at these little known tricks and how to benefit in a time of high tariffs, then you're going to win at the end of the day. So how can you actually make money off of the trade war that Trump has launched? The main way is to focus on looking at what is being punished and what is being rewarded. If you look at assets, if you look at businesses like businesses that depend on a lot of exports to Canada, businesses that depend on a lot of global exports, you want to be very careful, and you can't work with those types of businesses anymore, because if you do, what's going to happen is you're going to be completely destroyed in the sense of looking at those types of businesses, and you're going to, because the amount of money that they'll make will be drastically reduced by a factor of 25%. So you want to look at businesses and evaluate them based on how many exports and imports do they take, because every country that is being taxed or tariffed, for lack of better words, there's going to be a retaliation. For example, when Trump tariffs Canada on 25% goods, Canada retaliated back with a 25% tax back. So the amount of business that's going to be done between countries and businesses that depend on exports will be drastically reduced, and this will dramatically affect businesses, especially in the automotive industry, transportation, in, you look at logistics, you look at supply chain, you look at businesses that are in the business of shipping materials, creating materials, energy even, they'll be drastically impacted by what's going on. So you want to make sure that you take advantage of this and you look at analyzing the businesses based on what's happening. And the types of businesses that you're looking to acquire, what you can do is, if you're really smart, you can try to actually turn them around. So there are going to be a lot of distressed businesses because of this. And so what you want to do, you want to look at taking over those businesses that are distressed and shrinking because of the amount of money that they lost because of the tariffs. And then you take them over and then you run those businesses. So you look at businesses in Canada that depend on exporting a lot of things to the United States. You want to take over those types of businesses because they'll be sold at a discount compared to before the tariffs started. You want to look at businesses that export everything to Canada. You want to make sure that you take over those ones, because the amount of money that they make from exporting to Canada will get diminished and destroyed. So you want to really make sure you take advantage of this and look very carefully. Look at what all the things that are being exported to China, to and from China, manufacturing. You want to make sure you take advantage of it and you buy those undervalued businesses, because people won't know how to run these businesses anymore because there's going to be a big sell-off. So that's the second tip. And then the third and last thing is to look at the types of industries that are going to do well. The industries that are going to do well are probably the industries that are doing services outside of manufacturing or outside of e-commerce, because the services industries are not impacted by tariffs as of now, but they may in the future, because who knows what's going to happen. So the types of services businesses that don't depend on a manufacturing, for example, if you're coaching people or consulting people, or you're legal consultants for for cross-border some like the sending and receiving of goods, the import and export of goods, then those types of businesses are going to completely change, because all the rules of yesterday don't apply. So buying a consulting business, a legal firm, an accounting firm, you just be careful if the business depends on export and import. If it's outside of that, then you're probably going to be good for the next while. Let's see what happens. And the types of businesses that are built around quote-unquote America First are going to do really well, because the quote-unquote America First businesses are going to be the types of businesses that America is going to fund. Look at opportunity zones, delaying tax payments on real estate. Different things like that are going to do awesome. Canada is going to invest in their own economy. China is going to invest in their own economy. So set up a US LLC if you haven't. If you want to do business with Canada, just set up a Canadian company. So focus on each country by themselves. Forget about how they're going to interact with each other, because nationalism spreads like a virus, and it's going to change the way everything is done. You want to learn more?